Hello everyone, I am Sharaya Orchard and I just saw this post from Nature Journal and it just blew my mind. It related some of the studies published in Nature, some of the very landmark papers, to the Met Gala looks and how the Met Gala looks remind them of their study or this study could have a cover page like a magazine, and these looks could be one of the good representation of these studies. Any way you can think of it, and I just love the idea and I wanted to try it for myself too. I just handpicked a few of the looks and some studies that popped in my mind as soon as I saw these looks, and I love them all, by the way. Before starting, I'm gonna put it out there. So yeah, let's deep dive into it. Let's first show you the post that Nature had on their Instagram, and it's just amazing. It's cool, and it's not like just one like biology or chemistry. It is from economics, engineering, physics, ecology, birds, animal research, and it's an amazing compilation of everything, the looks and the papers. So yeah, let's see what I have made a little contribution to these kind of content in science communication. So first comes Janelle Monet. So her look is absolutely fantastic. It has all these wires and bulbs connecting each other with the moss, and like the whole look. There's grass, there are bryophytes coming out, and butterflies, and at some points there are like small circuit boards and loose wires coming out, and it actually made me think of this research, which is building bridges, mycelium mediated plant electrophysiological communication. And just look at it, right? It makes amazing. And if you want to read it, I've posted all the links to the research papers where it's published and the DOIs and everything. So if you want to get take a look at it, if you're interested, go for it. And yes, she slayed it. So let's go on to the next lip. Beyonce, of course. The queen had the most interesting outfit. Okay, so it had feathers, it had a skeleton kind of a thing, and it reminded me of the avian wing aerofoil. And this research fits it so well. Okay, so it's maintaining the avian wing aerofoil, the relationship between the number of primary and secondary flight feathers, and the underlying skeletal size in birds. If this paper want a cover page or a cover model for their she would be it. She's the girl for the job. Yes, so this is one of my favorites, and yeah, let's skip on. There are a lot of looks and a lot of papers that I've compiled, and we need to go through it. So, okay, this is Nicole Kidman, and her look, like this kind of a red, is so interesting. It's so bold, and it reminds us about flowing blood, because it's not everything like plain red, but it has this shiny, liquidy kind of a feeling. It feels like it's flowing almost, and it also has feathers. So again, this research which tells the bird's blood and feathers are the bioindicators for the oxidative stress induced in them by some of the contaminated areas which had metal or metalloid pollution. So these feathers and the underlying blood vessels are actually one of the external indicators, and this is a very interesting research if you want to learn about it, and it's not a very uh, science heavy or biology heavy thing. It's like simple connections between the oxidative stress, blood feather colors, and its texture, and the metal and the metalloid contamination in terms of different concentrations. So it's an interesting read. Then let's come to Sam Smith. As soon as I saw him, I was like, this is the bird of paradise mating dance. Okay, like he looked exactly like the male bird when he's doing his mating dance. And well, this is a paper which is like one of the most cited and paper. So this is the evolution of correlated complexity in the radically different courtship signals of bird of paradise. And like I think the designer might be have like it might have bird of paradise in their in their visualization and planning chart or something, because just look at it. Wow. Okay. We need to cover a lot of these. Okay, so the next is Bad Bunny and the makeup look, the special effects in terms of the makeup. It's amazing. It's and all the close-up shots of his, it looks so well executed. And well, this research, which is a mechanistic view on the aging human skin through ex vivo layer by layer analysis of mechanics and microstructure of facial and mammary dermis, connects to it. I mean, I think the makeup artist actually needs to go layer by layer to build up such folds and edges of the face that they might be interested in this research paper or something. Okay, so next to one of, again, I think it's my favorite, like my top favorite, and my friend just sent me a post where the behind the scenes of making this dress was shot, and they are actually paint strokes, and I was so fascinated by that and love the stress for it. And it's also an inspiration from the Van Gogh's artwork. So I didn't want to go into like very sciencey things or like very psychological or that kind of a way, because it's thought of. Okay, I wanted to go into the phenomena, like that Van Gogh might have seen when he was painting the Starry Night. So there is actually a paper which tells that physicists actually observed the quantum instability that resembles Van Gogh's Starry Night. And it is known as the Kelvin-Helmholtz instability in quantum physics. And well, I could not understand the paper, of course. And I sent this to so many of my physics friends, but they didn't reply. So if you understand it and like you can dumb it down for me, please do it. Please do it. I want to understand it, but I'm a biologist and I don't have a lot of physics background, so yeah, you need to keep that in mind. Okay, so the next is Doja Cat. Her look was a little underwhelming because of course she goes over, like way over the top whenever she plans something for the Met Gala. But yeah, this makes me feel something. Okay, there are some materials which when you see it tricks your brain, right? Like this might be some gelatin kind, like n- dry kind of a material, but it gives the feeling of like algae or gelatin, the wet gelatin. And well, this research popped in my head. I actually kind of worked on it during my internships. So this is the alginate bioactive glass containing zinc and magnesium composite scaffolds for bone tissue engineering. And well, for my research, we were using a lot of zinc oxide nanoparticles and magnesium sulfate nanoparticles, which were synthesized by using green synthesis method. So it is a little different, but yes, I this relates, like it makes sense in my head or something, I don't know. Okay, so the next is Gwendolyn. Okay, so here I was going through a lot of papers which tell about like multiple personality and like just a lot of different psychopathy and psychiatric conditions. But then just a mask in her hand stood out to me. And well, the proportion doesn't match, right? The mask and how tall she is and her face and everything. So it just made me think about facial reconstruction and how they need to like keep the ratios in mind and everything. So this paper, which is on facial reconstruction with a bone anchored prosthesis following destructive cancer surgery. So whenever something is removed because of cancer, it like there is something to fill, right? And for that, if you just make every layer in the same material and try to do facial reconstruction that way, it doesn't work. You need to have like a backbone, a physical blueprint to follow so that it fits best. And bone anchored prosthesis is the method which they follow for this facial reconstruction. And this is a very biophysics heavy, like engineering and biophysics heavy paper. If you want to read, I could not again understand it very well, but it's an interesting read. So the next is Jordan. Okay, so her look have someone like a spirit or maybe a companion coming out of her, but not actually the part of our world, right? Like you understand it, right? And the first thing that pops in the mind is an imaginary friend, right? I mean, I wasn't very creative when I was small, and my imaginary friend kind of looked like this: faceless, colorless, just everything less. And well, I mean, I was very shocked to see what I had imagined in real life, like art and fashion in that sense. So this dissociative features related to imaginary companions in the assessment of childhood adversity and dissociation. Well, it's not a research paper; it's a pilot study, but I mean it does not have a lot of very thoughtfully and very intricate experimental design, but it is a very strong statistically backed paper. And yeah, I like studies like these, which has a very broad hypothesis and gives out very interesting results at the end. So yeah, this is what I wanted to correlate. Okay, then comes Heidi. Okay, so her look, I was shocked when she first walked on the carpet, and I could not like. I've been seeing a lot of looks in Met Gala because I'm very interested. I like block all the time I have to watch it live, and this was the best fitting look for the theme, right? And well, it also I also saw something similar when I was watching History TV 18, and they had a show in which they were covering a lot of diseases, a lot of like rare diseases, and one of them was FOP, which is the fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. And it like when I was small, okay, and it kind of and it got engraved in my mind from that period of time. And I saw one of the paper, which is not a research paper, but it's a systemic review of how it is managed and how different therapies could be done. So it's an investigational study for all the management and therapy methods. So yeah, I mean, this look actually made me think of fog. So yeah. Then comes Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, so I had a lot of ideas as to what I can connect it to, like chemistry behind the photography or like X rays. Well, how some of the microscopes work on the principle of photography, because her whole look is made out of film strips, right? But again, I thought that she is the it girl of pop, and there is someone in the field of physics who is the it girl, and she's not talked about enough. Well, in the other communities, if you can say, the biology, chemistry, and the clinical community. So I wanted to give her a shout out, I guess, to make it in the science world, in the STEM world. So it's Katie Bowman, who is the woman behind the first black hole image. And well, the thing that connects these two are that both of them are the most popular, and well, they should be more popular. But yeah, the it girls of their fields. Then comes Kylie Jenner. So when I saw this look, I couldn't very well comprehend as to it's if she wanted to put it on, if it's like kind of showing the destruction of the skull. I don't know. I just couldn't understand it. But there is a nature paper, and I was very surprised as to this was published in Nature because, like, I don't know, it didn't fit the theme of the journal, and but it was an amazing read. So it tells us about methods, the in situ non-destructive investigation of contemporary outdoor bronze sculptures, which is a very like which is a very interesting read. I actually, someone suggested me this paper after I read Call Me by Your Name, where they dug the sculptures and they wanted to try this method to understand the bronze sculptures or something. Yeah, I think it was my 11th or 12th grade when I think so. Yeah. So yeah, this is the relation. Okay, then comes my favorite, Lisa. She was the co-host this time, and well, her look. Her look was amazing, fits to the theme, and well, it's Lisa is very like on point, punchy, right? So this paper is actually in the same vibe as her, which is just 5 letters, like 5 words, which is limb development, farewell to arms. And it is a developmental biology paper, which the narrative is that when there were limb development, it evolutionary showed how it is more adapted to a lot of movement, and it's like favorable to put energy into, and how arms can get a farewell if limb development is happening. So her look says everything about that, right? Her arms, which are her own arms. I guess they are 3D printed or casted on her own arms, and it's a farewell to those arms, right? Because it's like going off, like it's not her part, but it's her part. You get it. Then comes Hailey Bieber. So I loved the color combination, okay? And the thing that stood out to me was the like the color contrast, if you could say, the gold and the blue. And well, this was one of the paper that we read during our chemistry course for understanding the inner filter effect. And this is a study done on fluorescence sensing method for brilliant blue with golden nanoclusters based on inner filter effect. And like I, I don't know, it just popped into my head as to this paper and this her look is like such a great overlap. So yeah. Then comes SZA. Okay, so again, I was diving into a lot of canary bird research because it's all yellow. And also, I was going into a lot of research as to how yellow is used in artwork, and what emotions or like what kind of feelings it generates in us and everything, but it didn't stand out to me. A lot of research papers, or maybe I didn't had the right understanding wavelength. But yeah, I wanted to I don't know, think back, it's a throwback that the only Nobel Prize for a virus vaccine was given to the person who who found the virus vaccine for yellow fever. And it fits, right? Yellow fever is everything like yellow related, and her fit is also yellow. It's not a it's an article, but yeah, then comes Chase Infinity, and her look was the most colorful, right? It had all the colors possible. And I don't know, like all these looking at all these colors only give me a sense, like it gives me a vibe of colorful birds. So I just searched colorful birds, and this was the paper that stood out to me as to colorful birds face heightened extinction risk around the world. And I mean, I'm not a very I'm not an expert in ecology, but I kind of expected a little different for it. Like I thought they might have a little more advantage for the survival being colorful, and for like getting a mate and camouflaging and everything. But yeah, like I need to read on this, and yeah, like let's read it together. Okay. Then comes Tiana Taylor, and the way she was showing her dress, I enjoyed her walk on the stairs the most. She was moving in all the excesses possible. A lot of shaking, a lot of frequency was going on. And it almost felt like she was like, like jerking off all the microbes or anything that is going to sit on her. So it gave me a very antimicrobial strategy kind of a vibe. And this research on non cytotoxic silver nanoparticles as a new antimicrobial strategy was like a bam, it was a hit, right? I think so. Then comes Maria and her look. Like she exactly looks like the doll she has in her hands, right? And well, this is a UK study in which they were playing with dolls, and it showed how playing with dolls can help children develop imagination and social skills in comparison to children who were given video games. So again, the study and her look fits, overlaps everything. Okay, this is gonna be a little disrespectful, but again, we need to talk about it. And well, she's the most influential person to. I mean, even if there's one person who gets like we talk about it, and we share this conversation, and you talk to someone else, that is how big things are talked, and that is how big chains are made for a very big topic, right? So this she looks like her outfit gives a little of how anal and uterine prolapse look like. Don't search it. If you are not from a clinical background, don't search it. Please don't. No, you need not pause this video and go to search this. No, but it looks like this. And well, in India, it is something that needs to be talked about and made aware about for a lot of people who cannot go into very high-end facilities, and um, there is not much research or grant given to this area. And this research, I think this is an investigational study which shows that there is persistent uterine prolapse during pregnancy and labor, and why it's happening. And not a lot of clinical research is being done on it, because it's threatening, but it's not very threatening to someone's life. Like it's they treat it as like a side effect for some of the pregnancies and labor. But you need to understand it better. Like we need to spend more money on research that is related to female's body, to women's body. And yeah, I wanted to give some minutes to talk about this. Okay, then comes Natasha Poonawalla, and if you search for the parathyroid, so it looks exactly like the upper part of a dress. Okay, and this is one of the research published in Nature, which actually tells about the retrospective real life study on preoperative imaging for minimally invasive parathyroidectomy in primary hyperparathyroidism. And there has been a lot of research on like minimal or non-invasive tommy, the removal of a lot of organs. And this one was the most cited and well most read paper in this field. So yeah, this is how I kind of tried to connect it. Then comes Lena, and well, she's a superstar in France though. Like, I mean, I was shocked as to people didn't some people didn't know about her, and I was like, oh my god, okay, she's a very wonderful content creator, and a lot of her looks are very bold. And well, this look actually, again, I wanted to talk about something that every girl, every woman should know, which is as to how to perform a self breast egg guide. I cannot talk about it right now because it does not go with the theme. But yeah, I think it's a strong pause. It gives us a few minutes to maybe go do your research, and like don't take it as easy, because this is how you can actually get to know in the first stages of if something is going wrong. And everyone needs to understand how to do it, and what to expect, and what is an anomaly, like how hard it should feel like, and well, how it it gets if something goes wrong. And you need to have more conversations with your doctor, with your physician about it. And well, you need to have once in a lifetime, or once in every like 4 6 months, you need to, if you are visiting a doctor, you should get it done by a professional. But again, every day you need to do a self breast examination. So yeah, I mean, this is how I try to correlate it. So then comes Rihanna. Sorry to keep her at the last. I don't know, but I wanted to, I wanted to select a paper that, you know, I don't know, like give justice to this look. So this is a very interesting paper. The professor in my university also researched on this when my institution was in the process of building, in the construction phase. And it is that, do birds select the plastic debris for nest construction? And well, this is a study in Mediterranean agricultural landscape, but it also is observed in a lot of urban landscape. And yeah, like she looks like a nest, like the first time she's not pregnant, but her look actually kind of gives a very maternal, and I don't know, I don't know, like a nest kind of a thing she's coming out of. I don't know, and it's plasticky a little. So yeah, that is how I wanted to relate it. I just yapped for 30 minutes. If you like it, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.